Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Today we're going to talk about adrenal stress symptoms. I actually did a video on this recently, and so because of that, I thought, hey, let's present this here because it's so applicable for today. We do not want stress to reign on your life. However, unfortunately, it tends to do that. So today we're going to talk about stress symptoms and see how much they can relate to you. I recommend, if you can, have a pencil and paper because I'm going to give very useful information today. Lots of good information. Talk about symptoms. We're going to talk about, of course, solutions to this problem of stress, its far reaching effects. And then, of course, we're going to summarize and make some other recommendations. So let's get started. Can you relate to this? And I'd like to see a show of hands, if I may. Are you tired? Do you have any losses of energy during the day? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah.
Are you a slow starter in the morning? 7 o'clock. Who in the world is having 7 o'clock meeting? Come on. Maybe you're a slow starter. Maybe you have to have coffee to get going. And it's one thing to have a cup of coffee, but to have 6 cups of coffee might be a little excessive. I want to take note of this talk today. Low energy, maybe afternoons, low energy. You start to dip in the afternoons and you need to take a nap. Anyone? Can you relate to that?
Mhm.
What about sleep? This kind of rolls right into sleep. Do you have any issues with sleeping? Maybe you can't get to sleep at night or you wake up frequently.
Sometimes.
And of course, we always blame it on our bladders, don't we? Sometimes that can be the case. That's a whole other topic that we should talk about, but not today. Hormonal problems. Ladies, do you have any PMS or the other side of things, menopausal symptoms? You shouldn't. And if you do, in the title of our topic or the speech today, adrenal stress symptoms, you probably have some issues with your adrenal glands. Immune system challenges. Immune system challenges. Are you the person that you might say, boy, if anyone's going to get sick, it's going to be me. I always get sick. If that's you, you need to listen up. We've solved illness, colds and flus and things of that sort just by supporting a person's adrenal glands because recovery is within your adrenal gland function too. Blood sugar issues. So there are such far-reaching effects because your adrenals are in the center of it all. Matter of fact, all illnesses today, 100% of all illnesses, there's a major adrenal component to it. So pretty significant. So what do you do about these problems? What do you do? We're going to talk about lifestyle issues, some changes that you need to make there. We're also going to talk about some simple nutrition that will make a major impact on your ability to handle stress. Because this is one thing for certain. You can't fire your family, which may give you stress. You can't quit your job necessarily. People are losing their jobs, another reason for stress. People have anxiety for all of this. Are you watching the politics? Are you watching the news or social media that can really bring you down? Are you just stuck in your house? These are some big issues. So stress is a big deal. So let's get into it. So what do you do about all of these problems? Let's talk about lifestyle. Sleep, number one, you need more sleep. 8 to 10 hours a day of sleep. And the magic hour to go to sleep is literally between 9:30 and 10:30 at night. Your adrenals will love you if you can do that. The problem is getting there. So I would suggest try to set that as your goal. Try to get to sleep or start to get to sleep between 9:30 and 10:30. And it's interesting, unless you have graveyard shifts, you've been working graveyard shifts for years, you start to get kind of sleepy, tired around 9:30, between 9:30 and 10:30. So you could follow that lead. It can help tremendously. Another thing about sleep that helps is to change the color, excuse me, of the lighting around you to a more amber or reddish color as opposed to the white, bright light. That is very stimulating to your nervous system and it wakes you up, keeps you awake. So start to dim the lights down. Start to put a candle on. Maybe you would get a salt light, a salt lamp. And all a salt lamp is a light inside with this nice amber glow to it. Help you to sleep, help you to get to sleep. Exercise. Let's talk about exercise. Many times I suggest not putting more stress onto an already stressed system. And as you know, when we go to exercise, we like to get out and push it hard and sweat and huff and puff. And it tends to create more problems. So classically, have stress, put too much stress into your life. You get tired and run down. And what happens? You get sick or you have an injury or both. So exercise, my suggestion, take a walk. Take a walk. It'll help you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Just taking a walk. Getting some, well, today, sunshine. Might rain on your parade. Rain. But I would suggest getting out there. Put a rain jacket on. Take an umbrella. Get out for a walk. Just take some fresh air into your lungs. It's going to be good for you. Helps tremendously. Try to commit to do that every day. Take a walk, maybe twice a day. You'll start to enjoy it. And then ramp it up with exercise. The next thing would be deep breathing. Deep breathing is not weird. It's not esoteric and mystical. It actually does affect your full body physiology. My recommendation, take 20 deep breaths at a time and do that twice a day. If you were to do that, don't do it too quickly because you can get dizzy and hyperventilate. You want to take a really deep breath in and pause at the top for about 3 seconds, and then a really deep breath out and blow it out and pause at the bottom for about 3 seconds. 20 deep breaths twice a day will help tremendously. This one you may not like, taking a cold shower. Take a cold shower. I would start off slow with this one as well, but this definitely affects and impacts your adrenal gland function. Cold showers. Maybe you take your shower first, get all clean, and then you would start off with a 20-second burst. Flip it to cold and get that shock of cold for 20 seconds and then shut it off. Your goal is up to 3 minutes of cold water. Good thing to do. You want to talk about becoming very vital in the morning. It's going to be amazing for you. How about this one? Laughter. When was the last time you had that uncontrollable belly laugh that just, you couldn't control yourself? You couldn't talk. You were crying. It was so overwhelming for you. When was the last time you had that? Very significant to start laughing. And even now, you might be able to think of something that was funny. And if you keep thinking about it, you may go to that place and have that uncontrollable belly laugh. I started on that when I was reviewing my speech this morning, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. Not right now. Not especially right before my speech. So uncontrollable belly laugh. Laughter is amazing to do. That will change your lifestyle. It will change your adrenal glands. It will start to reduce stress for you. So working internally is an amazing thing. So those are some lifestyle suggestions. The next suggestion would be nutrition. Your food, critical side to this. So foods that you want to avoid would be, I'm going to hold up my coffee mug here. You don't want to put in here sugar and mocha mix or non-dairy creamer. It has the bad oils, the bad fats in it, and it has sugar in it. So staying away from sugar and starch would be a great place to start. Put in more things like protein, veggies, and fats. Tracy, great suggestion this morning on having breakfast. Critical thing to do. When your fuel is low, you don't feel and function very well, and it's just not so good for you. So what do you do on the nutrient side of things? The nutrient side of things would be some very specific nutrition. I like to use a company that's called Standard Process because it's whole food nutrition. So we're going to talk about nutrients first. We'll talk about some herbs, and they really do make a difference. So first nutrient, Drenamine. Drenamine is a whole food nutrient support product that feeds your adrenal glands just to get them to heal and function. It's the raw materials to repair your adrenal gland function. It has whole food vitamin C complex in it. It has some comative forms of the vitamin B, the vitamin Bs. Really, really great product. Has some other stuff as well. Adrenal desiccated is typically where I start people because most people have had too much stress. It is literally ground up adrenal glands from a cow. It literally will fill up an empty glass and you will just be able to function and you'll go, wow, that was better than coffee, because it is better than coffee. When your adrenal glands can function like they once did, absolutely amazing function. So this gives you energy and allows your adrenal glands to function normally and adapt you to your stress. As I said in the beginning, you can't fire your family and quit your job. So you have to do something for your body from inside out to resist it. Next would be some cofactors. We'll still stick with the nutrients first. Cofactors: magnesium, a critical mineral for your adrenal gland function. Also notice that magnesium tends to be comative. Don't take too much of it though, because you can start to have some diarrhea. Second, whole food vitamin C complex. I say whole food because it is significant. Vitamin C, as far as the FDA is concerned, is ascorbic acid, and it's the eggshell covering over the whole food vitamin C complex. The problem, you wouldn't eat the eggshells, would you? You would want to eat the egg. So therefore, in vitamin C, it works far better. Vitamin C is critical for adrenal function, but eat the whole food or have the whole food vitamin C complex. Secondly, trace minerals. There are quite a few of trace minerals, so it's best to take a trace mineral supplement. Zinc. Zinc is involved with just about every cellular function in your body, every biochemical function also. Selenium, another great one. It's also really, really good for your thyroid function. Copper, manganese, potassium, and of course, lastly, chromium. Potassium is comative. Chromium is excellent for blood sugar as well. So trace minerals, we like to call that all organic trace minerals or trace minerals B12. Really, really good supplement. Vitamin B. Vitamin B. And what's going on in vitamin B that's so good is pantothenic acid. And as you know, B12. B12 tends to give you some energy. However, the problem is out there in the nutrition world is they put out and make synthetic fractionated vitamins. You never find pantothenic acid by itself in food, nor do you find vitamin B12 by itself. So therefore, it's best to take it also in a whole food supplement. So my preference is something called Cataplex B Core. Amazing, amazing blend of all the vitamin Bs. Great for brain, central nervous system function. Excellent for your heart and all muscle function, and certainly for your adrenal glands. Critical for those. Some adaptogenic herbs. Let's talk about some herbs. Herbs, and the term there, adaptogenic herbs. By taking these, they will help to adapt you to stress. And they're amazing. They're very powerful. But these herbs don't necessarily conflict with anything, with the exception of one herb, and that is licorice. But the problem there is it's got a bad rap because you'd have to take a boatload of licorice to affect your blood pressure. So if you already have high blood pressure problems and you take a boatload of licorice, it can raise your blood pressure a little bit higher. I've never seen that in 32 years of practice. However, it's a great herb for people. Rhodiola and ginseng, another great blend, something that I use frequently. I typically will do, like today when I go up to the mountains, I'm going to be taking desiccated adrenal and I'm going to be taking rhodiola and ginseng. Phenomenal blend of herbs. Rhodiola grows actually in Siberia, Russia, in the snow. So it's a profoundly robust herb for endurance, not only energy, but also endurance. So in summary, adrenal stress symptoms. Adrenal stress affects your full body function. It's in the center 100% of all illness and diseases today. What can you do about it? A lot. You can change your lifestyle, such as the things that we spoke of, like sleep, like getting some exercise, like deep breathing, cold showers, laughter, critical. Do some laughter. And then nutrients, avoid starch and sugar, do protein, veggies, and fats, and take some nutrition, because your health, your vitality, and your longevity depend on it. Mr. Toastmaster.